have been meditating on the theme message based on the theme move forward and move on. When we actually think about the word move on or move forward, we are really feeling very happy because it is a real good sense of happiness to move forward and to move on in our lives. So we'll be happy when we move forward in our education, in our family life, in our prosperity, in our spirituality, and with intimacy with God. So moving forward and moving on is a nice experience which each one of us must experience. Even today, our message is based on the same theme, moving on and moving forward. Many people usually they succeed in moving forward, but some they are not able to. This is because of some obstacles which they face in their lives. So today we are going to just discuss about a few obstacles which we usually commonly face, which is not, because of that we are not able to move on or move forward in our life. We all know about Gideon. All of us know about Gideon. We read in the Bible, and he was an Israelite. And during the period of Gideon, the Israelites were actually overpowered by the Midianites. And the Midianites came and they took away their treasures, their herds, their cattle, and they were actually overpowered by the Israelites were overpowered by the Midianites. So the Israelites were suffering so much that they prayed to God and they asked God for help. And God heard their prayers, and He sent an angel to Gideon. When Gideon came, he was actually a cowardly person, but the angel of God went to Gideon. And when we read in the verses, can you please someone help me in reading Judges 6:15? So, what first the angel of God appeared before Gideon, and he said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." So when the angel of the Lord appeared before Gideon, he said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." When the angel of the Lord addressed Gideon as a mighty warrior, Gideon couldn't believe it. He couldn't take it, because he did not think him as a mighty warrior. He answered back to God in Judge 6:15, and he said, "Lord, how am I to save Israel? My clan is the most weakest in Manasseh. I am the least in my family." He said, "I am the least in my family. I am not an able person. I am not a capable person. I do not have the capability of winning over the Israelites." That's what Gideon thought about himself. But Lord looked at him as a mighty warrior. Today, dear brothers and sisters, most of us think that we are not able, we are not capable. We underestimate our talents. We think inferior about ourselves. We don't know what ability we have. We have a different perspective of ourselves. And we think we cannot do things which we ought to do. But you see here, like how Gideon did, but you see here, God is calling Gideon a mighty warrior. So today we all have to change our perspectives about ourselves. We are able, we are enough. With God, we can do anything. Please change the perspective about yourself and switch over to the perspective which God sees us. He sees us as a mighty warrior. He sees us an able person. So, most of us are not able to move forward or move on. It's because we think we have a low estimate about ourselves. We underestimate ourselves. We think we are not enough, and we will not be able to do great things for God and to the society. So this is the first obstacle which most of us face. So when we overcome this and when we change our perspective about ourselves, we can surely come and we can surely move on in our life in all aspects. A ruler, his daughter was actually dying. So he came to Jesus and he asked him, "Will you please come over to save my child who's dying?" But when Jesus wanted to help the ruler, he was stopped by the crowd on the way. He could not reach the place in time. So, but when he reached late, the child had already died. We read this instance in Matthew. When the child had already died, when Jesus saw the people crowd there crying, he said, Please don't cry. The child is sleeping. She's not dead." Look at the way God looked at the child. The people around the child and all the crowd around the person who was dead, they all thought she was dead. She was really dead. But Jesus saw her as a sleeping child. So his perspective is different. He says there's still life. When God comes, even death situations may turn into a lively and a successful journey. So today, like how Jesus had a different perspective on that girl, and like how the Lord had a different perspective on Gideon, we also have to change our perspective to move on and to move forward. Secondly, the most common thing is we always think about what we lack. I don't have a good family. I don't have a good father, a good mother. I don't have a child who is obedient to me. I don't have what others have. The riches, the treasures which they have, I don't have. I didn't get the education which others are getting. I'm not having whatever the blessings which others are having. So it may be even a disability in your life, or it may be even it can be even what you think it is not. You think it is very important to you, but these always thinking about this lackness in your life will bring you back. See, in Bible we read about Paul in 2 Corinthians 12:7 and 9. See, in this Bible verse, we read that Paul had a thorn in his flesh. So he had a thorn. So he prayed to God thrice. He said, "Please take away this thorn from me, O Lord." But it was not taken away from God. It was allowed. And God answered his prayer by saying, my strength will be in your weakness, and my grace is sufficient for you. So today, dear brothers and sisters, we all think about what we are lacking, what we don't have, what we did not get. It can be whatever. See, in this we see that Paul, he had a weakness. He accepted the weakness and he wanted to go forth. And he went and he built the kingdom of God with the grace of the God and also with his strength. In a similar way, so whatever might be our deficiency or whatever our lacking in our life, accept it. Whatever is my family situation, I accept it. Whatever is my family status, I accept it. Whoever my father may be or my parents may be, I accept it. Whatever my illness, I accept it. Whatever is my disability, I accept it. You accept it and try to move on and move forward with the strength of the Lord, and how best you can overcome this disability and do things in all aspects of life. So when I was studying in EWATS, in my school, there was a sports, we will be segregated into groups for sports, for the sake of sports meet. In that, one of the group was named as Helen Keller. So I was just, I wanted to know about Helen Keller, and I and when I read about her, she was in the age of 1.5 years, like 19 months old, she was struck with encephalitis. So she became very ill and she became dumb. She cannot see, she cannot hear. and she developed this because of this meningitis illness. But what happened was a teacher taught her to learn things by feeling, by touching the things. She was taught how to recognize all the articles, and she started learning the language. Now, after few years, she started to speak. She developed her skills with the help of the teacher, and also she had a good spiritual knowledge about God, and with the strength, she became an orator. She was able to speak. She also spoke for the empowerment of the disabled people in her society at that time. So she cannot see, she cannot hear, she was struck with neurological problem, but she knew that whatever my disability, she accepted it. She knew this is my disability. I accept it, but I must move on. I must move forward. With the help of the teacher, she studied everything, and she also was able to change the whole society. So today, please, whatever might be your situations, or whatever you are lacking, or whatever disability or whatever sickness, please set it aside. With whatever you can develop in yourself, develop with the help of the Lord, and move on and move forward. This is not an obstacle in your life to move forward. And the third thing, which is, I think it is the last point, and though it is last, it is not the least. I've just discussed only about a few obstacles. It is some of the discouraging words which come out from the society. Many of the time, we hear many discouraging words from our own family people, from our friends, and also from the society, and wherever in our study place, in our colleges, in our workplace. People mock at us. And sometimes they say that you are not able to do, you will not be able to do this, or and sometimes they may even discourage us when we try to do some work. In 1 Samuel 17:42-44, we see that David, when he was he went to face Goliath. So when David went to face Goliath, he was very small. He was, when compared to Goliath, his strength was big. But he was mocked by Goliath. He said, "Am I a dog that you have come to me with a stick?" So he was mocking at David. "See, you have no strength to face me. How can you come and face me? Am I a dog to hit me with a stick? I am so gigantic. I am a big person. How can you come and fight against me?" His word would have heard, David would have heard this word. But was he disturbed by that word? No. He did not take that discouraging word. But with the strength of the Lord, he killed Goliath. So any word, whatever might be around us, please do not take it to your heart. This is one of the big obstacles which will actually not help us move forward or move on. And we also read in Bible, Hannah, she did not have child for many years. All her co-sisters used to make fun of her, make her actually treat her very badly. Those words were really hurting her. She used to cry. Every year she used to cry. But Hannah did not stand just hearing that word. But she went into God's presence. She poured out her heart, and she gave birth to a prophet. So these words did not affect Hannah. In the same way, another example, we see that Jezebel, when Elijah the prophet was actually threatened by Jezebel that he'll be killed. When he heard the word, he went and hid himself, and he said, "No, I'm not going to go there because I'm going to be killed." He even went to the verge of going, "Why should I live?" He had the feeling of suicide tendencies. But God woke him up and made him move on. So this word, sometimes some of the words may even push us to go, "Why should I live? People around me are mocking me, making fun of me. They're telling me I will not be able to come up in life. They say that I am not a apt person to do this particular work or this education." So please don't be discouraged by the words. You can, this is a, don't take this as a big obstacle to come, move on and move forward. I want to just finish with an example with a missionary named William Carey. When William Carey, he wanted to come as a missionary to India, when in his congregation they were actually giving a speech to go to India, and William Carey, when he said, "I will go to India and serve the people," the word which came from the church was, "Young man, sit down. You just keep quiet and sit down." See how you would have felt, no? When everyone are present, he is being discouraged, he is being mocked in front of everyone. But William Carey did not give his ears to these words. He came to India, he actually wrote Bible in many languages, and he built the kingdom of God. And also Amy Chemical, who was also a missionary, she was a woman. And they were telling, "You are a woman, how can you go and do ministry in India?" But she came to India and she worked among the young prostitutes in India, and she actually empowered their life. So the discouraging words did not push back William Carey or Amy Carmichael. And the common, we all know about Abdul Kalam. Abdul Kalam was born in a very poor family in Rameshwaram, and he became the missile man. So in his biography is written that all people around him used to discourage him and say, "You will not be able to do all the work which you are, like you will send all these missiles. You are not very poor, you have come from a very poor background." But these words did not affect Abdul Kalam. He said, "Don't take rest after your first victory, because if you fail in the second, more lips are waiting to say that your first victory was just a luck." So the people will talk however they like or whatever they feel. But these discouraging words or these mocking words should not pull you back, but you should just keep aside all this, and you should move on and move forward with the ability, with the help of the Lord. So today, this morning, we have seen that to move on, to move forward, we are being pulled back due to 3 different obstacles. Number 1 is we have a different perspective about us. We think we are not able, we are not capable, we are nothing, and we underestimate ourselves. So first, change your perspective about yourself and see the way that God sees you and God has ordained for you. And second thing is, whatever thing you might be lacking, which you may not have, a good family, the weaknesses, the diseases, whatever you may be lacking, please don't think about that, because you can actually, like how Paul moved forward, you accept it. You accept whatever is the weakness in your, the lacking in your family, you accept it and try to develop yourself, and with the strength of the God, just move on and move forward. And lastly, any words, the discouraging words or mocking words or whatever words come against you, please don't take it to your heart, but keep moving on, like how Abdul Kalam did and also our David did to win over Goliath. So I think we all will this week, after hearing this message, these are just few obstacles. We will overcome all these obstacles, and we will move on and move forward in our life and do great things for God. Thank you.